Welcome back to Low Luxury Archive, where we are diving deep into the archives lately of Demna Gvasalia's Balenciaga. And today, we are taking a look at a hoodie. Wah, wah, wah. No. You think I would show you like a basic boy hoodie? No, never. Not on Low Luxury Archive, because this hoodie, flip that around there, this hoodie is a scarf hoodie. It's got these crazy like vampire fang attachments on it. Femme Fatale. This actually reminds me a lot of like some of the earlier Vetements stuff, and it makes sense because this is an earlier piece. So I'm super psyched to check it out. We're gonna take a look at the original place this hoodie came from. We'll take a closer look at all the details, and then we'll try it on. I'll tell you how it feels, how it fits, but not just that, we will look back to that original fit and try to use it as inspiration for our look. So let's dive in. Yo. Before we get too much further, subscribe to the channel. I make tons of luxury and streetwear content. And also, if you're looking for deals on luxury and streetwear, check the description. I've got some of the best sites with all authentic stuff. Check it out. So here we are back on the Balenciaga Vogue runway page, and I'm sure we'll have such an easy time finding this piece. And oh no, I already went through it, and it did not appear on the runway in any Balenciaga collection. Why does this keep happening? It's hard to understand. I have to assume this is part of capsule collections or side pieces released in conjunction with main collections, but apparently I just have a real taste for pieces that didn't actually walk the runway, and I don't know why that is. But the listed year on the tag, on the care tags, is 2017, and I have a really hard time believing that this piece came from anywhere other than pre-fall 2017. Like it had to have come from here. So pre-fall 17, we have looked at this one before because this is the scarf collection. One of the very first episodes of this series was looking at a leather jacket that also did not actually appear in the collection. But we can see going through these, I mean, we've already looked at these a little bit, but like you've got all these scarf detailing pieces here. I think of them as fangs because they're kind of like sharp like that. They're all tied around. That's how they're styled. And going through, you will notice that our piece is nowhere to be seen here. So what are we going to do for our look later on? Well, we just got to find something that fits. And actually, I think our best option is right here. Clearly, this is kind of like I think it's like a sweater with maybe a collared shirt coming out from underneath. But you've got this hood here with the scarf tied detailing. So when you step back from a few feet, suddenly it looks like a scarf hoodie, a black scarf hoodie. So I think this is the way to go. I already know I'm gonna have trouble because I don't have like patent leather. What even are? This is like a PVC giant knife boot. I don't have a big green bag. I don't have like a gingham skirt. So we're gonna have to take some loose inspiration here. But this is like one of my favorite collections because it's just this one idea with this scarf detailing taken to every extreme it could possibly be taken to. And that's what I really like about these. All right, so now that we know a bit more about where this came from, let's take a closer look. So this hoodie is really fun, and there are actually a few elements on top of the scarf detailing that make it a really cool one to look at. But first, let's take a look at the tags inside. So this piece, as we saw, is from 2017, which I think is a really fun, like, in-between era for Balenciaga logos. They were still using the thinner, more stretched out main brand font for Balenciaga here, and they've still put Paris underneath. For the first couple Demna collections, they put a period before Paris, but now they've taken it out. And very shortly after this, they moved to the thicker logo print, which usually you'd see in the opposite colors with white on black as opposed to here, which is black on white. As for the care tags, we can see that this is tagged in extra small, and we'll definitely talk about sizing. I believe this was officially a women's piece, so keep that in mind, even though in Demna's world that often doesn't really mean much of anything. And we're still using the kind of like crinkly matte black care tags here. Gray, still got that old stretch out logo, year, model number, all that good stuff, and where it was made, in this case, Portugal, which is the most common place where they make t-shirts and hoodies for Balenciaga at least. And now what is this thing made of? This is where things get interesting for me. So this is primarily cotton, but there's also elastane in there. And that's what makes this really interesting. That's, I'd say, the other most interesting part. Because actually, let's dive in deep here and get a close look. So you can see on this hoodie, that's not like all pilling. It's actually almost kind of fleecy. And when you put this on, it's like heavy and it hangs off you. It's got a lot of stretch to it. So here's the inside. And as I pull on this, that is stretching so much more than your typical hoodie. So just the weight of putting it on, it kind of falls with you when you put it on, which it's a really unique fit, a really unique feel that you're not used to from a hoodie. And I think that gives it a little like unique twist, which I really enjoy when I wear it. All right, let's get up to this kind of chest and neckline here. Let's look at the print at the front. So of course this is embroidered in here. It's really, really nice embroidery in like silver and black. Take a look at those edges. That's really, really cool. Very like goth raver vibes, which Demna was really into at this era, both at Balenciaga and at FEMME as well, which he was still working for at the same time. For this size extra small, it goes across pretty much the whole chest, although I have seen larger sizes where it looks much smaller in context. And then we've got these scarf boys. You've got a kind of like asymmetrical stitching. It's really close to the edge here, and that's for the drawstring, whereas you've got a lot more distance from this kind of hem here, this edge. It comes to a really nice fine point here at the bottom. And then I did mention some drawstrings, and those actually come, oh, it's this one, that's why it's wider. So the drawstrings come around the top of the hood here, and then come right out a hole in this side, which has this little embroidered stitching right around it to make the hole. And then this comes out here, and it's just a little kind of capped end there for the drawstring. So these, I personally like the look, just leaving them hanging. I think it's a really cool vampiric look, goth look. When you tie them up, it's a bit more like prim and proper, but I do like that even if you do that, you still get the goth vibes from the Femme Fatale embroidery at the front here. But aside from that, aside from the scarf and the embroidery and the weird like stretch fabrication, it's a fairly standard hoodie. You've got your hood. It comes down to a hem here where you've got maybe, what is that, like half an inch for that hem. You've got some kind of like mesh, a slightly different fabrication for these cuffs to really give them more elastication and grab you like a ribbing there. And aside from that, just kind of standard stuff, but it's a lot of fun. I think this is a really, really cool one. So now that we've seen all of those details, it's time to try this hoodie on. But let's take another look at that original runway piece, or that original collection, if you will. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's a lot of stuff in this inspiration look that I don't have. But we can definitely take some inspiration, and I think we can kind of make this a bit of a Balenciaga look. So I definitely don't have this skirt. I don't even have any like check pants really that I can think of. But I do like the kind of earth tone here. So we're gonna go with some super wide leg Balenciaga pants that we've already looked at on this channel. And then speaking of Balenciaga, we don't have these weird like PVC patent leather knife boots, but I do really like that pointed toe. So we got to go with the Balenciaga Santiago's for these. Why didn't he just put the O in? Santiago. No, Santiago. And it just stops there. And finally, you'll note that there is a little bit of like some sort of shirt popping out the bottom of the top on this look. So this is where I'm going to bring the check in. This is a shirt from just like a random brand that I've never even heard of that I found thrifting. But I think it's a cool kind of, I don't know, mismatched pattern kind of thing. And I think if we can get this hanging out the bottom, that'll be a nice little nod to that original look. So let's see what happens. All right, you know what? This is a cool look. I think this works. This is a good time. You could wear this out and have a grand old time out on the town. You know what I mean? First, let's talk about sizing. Because, oh my goodness, you guys, Demna finally made something that kind of sort of fits somewhat close to true to size. This is tagged an extra small, and I would say it fits like a small bordering on a medium, like a slightly oversized small, maybe. So that's about as close as I've ever seen a Balenciaga top coming to true to size, so that's kind of a miracle. I will say, this being a women's wear piece, the sleeves are quite short, like it comes right up to the end of my wrist. I'm used to Balenciaga stuff being much longer in the sleeves, but it works out especially because of that stretchy fabrication. And let's talk about that, because it wasn't until I tried tying off this scarf detailing that I finally realized why Demna made this with the elastane. And it's because that elastane adds the extra stretch that you need to really make these tie off well. Because it has that stretch, you can really tie off that scarf really easily and pull it through and make it stretch, and it makes that knot really well. If this was 100% cotton, like a normal hoodie, that scarf tie would not work nearly as well. So it's actually really, really smart. And as for the feel, I think it's really nice. Like I said, it has a kind of fleecy feel. That stretch is really nice. It gets on and off really easily, and it just it moves with you. It has an almost activewear kind of feel thanks to that stretch. So this is one, like, I could see myself on a cold day wearing this to the gym, something like that, and just really, be dripping at the gym. So that would be a good time. And now finally, why is this worth archiving? Well, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm a big fan of these scarf detail pieces from the pre-fall 17 collection. I think it's a perfect example of Demna taking one design element and taking it as far as he possibly can. He really ran it in the ground in this collection. And I think that makes it really cool. I also think the raver elements tie it in really well with his Vêtements days. So I just like that kind of bridge between the two brands, and I think that makes this a great one. So that is the crazy, super stretch Femme Fatale scarf hoodie by Balenciaga. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.